My name is Best Ayiorworth. I come from the northern part of Uganda, especially West Nile, Navy District. I'm 25 years old right now, but I started business when I was 19. We are 7 of us in the family, and I'm the fifth one actually. So when my mom passed on, they couldn't take me anywhere else because that is what they could actually manage. And I had no point of blaming them because at least they had tried their best. So they took me for a catering course where I learned catering and got a certificate. Luckily enough, immediately after completing my catering course, I was employed in a restaurant, which was earning very little money, but it was big for me then. So when I had to stop at that level of education, I always never wanted for another girl to go through what I actually went through. So when I completed and I did my catering course, got employed, the first thing that came into my mind was to support a girl child go to school properly. But I did not have the resources anyway. I was just an employee who was earning 100,000 shillings. So what I thought was like, I can actually support a mother to start up something so that they're able to support a girl child go to school efficiently. So I actually decided to start this microfinance or micro-lending institution, which was not able to stand on its own by that time anyway. Because the money was small, I was not registered and all those things. So what I did, I went and actually entered already an already existing organization that was carrying out the same thing, got a number of women, there were like 10 of them, and gave them 10,000 shillings each. And each time I say this, I laugh because if I look at someone doing a business with 10,000 shillings, it's just amazing. So I just got there, gave the women money, and started going on. And in 2013, I kept on re-injecting, like each time I get my salaries, I put it in the business, and the business started growing. I had about 1.6 million by 2013, and I had a number of women, like about 45 women, and I was giving them really little money. So I decided I should register, but it was hard for me to register as a very big entity because the thing was small anyway. But since those people were not they were not actually doing exactly what I wanted to do, I decided I should just step out a bit and do my things the way I wanted them to be. So I went registered as a CBO, a community-based organization, and started focusing on exactly what I wanted to do. I registered as a micro-lending organization. It was called, it's actually called Girls Power Micro-Lending Organization. So I started supporting women. And in 2013, I engaged myself in some challenge, a business challenge. It was called FinAfrica and Uganda Enterprise Business Challenge Award. And I turned out to be the grand winner of that award that year. And so those people gave me little money. They gave me like 1 million VGX, and they rented for me an office space. I was actually given an office space and free mentorship and all those things. So I stayed there until around August when I was announced a finalist of the Anzisha Prize. So we went, took the challenge, and surprisingly, I turned out the grand winner again of Anzisha Prize. That was started 2013. And Anzisha Prize is the prize for the best young young innovative entrepreneur in Africa. So it celebrates the young entrepreneurs, innovative ones. So that one a bit boosted my capital. I started supporting a larger community with that money and reached out to very many women and girls out there. I'm going to talk a little about the model of Gipomo. You see, today, if we see in the finance industry, very many miners or the people in the local community do not have chance to get finance from the bigger institutions or even from microfinance institutions, any microfinance institutions. Why? This is because they are always asked for things that they cannot provide. For example, they ask, you go to a bank and they tell you, we want a collateral, we want a security for us to give you this money, and you don't have it. Secondly, they'll tell you, we want 2 guarantors. And those 2 guarantors are supposed to be people who are actually ahead of you a bit. Because when you take guarantors at first, the first thing that the bank does is they look at that person's the transactions and everything. So if it's not up to date, they'll tell you, okay, this person cannot guarantee you, you have to get another person, which is another hard thing. Thirdly, they'll say, we want to see your business premises, meaning that if you're just a starter, it's very hard for you to get money from anyone, just like that. you will fail because they'll ask you for these three things and you cannot provide them. So this thing actually makes it very hard for our community or for people in the local community to access finance from the bigger microfinance institutions. However, the Gipomo bit of it is different. We look at it, we think that the local people or the miners are supposed to be given a chance to access credit, even if they just want to start. But we do it in a way that is a little bit friendly, cheaper for them, yet very safe for the organization. What do? We actually group these women in three and register the girl child, and then we give them money. We actually expect this money to be brought back after one month, both the principal and the interest. I'll tell you the reasons why we do these things like this. One, the reason why we group these women is because we actually do not have anything we get from them to make sure that her money can get back. But these women are women who really need money and they really need help. We need to help them. So what we do is that we put them in this group so that they're able to guarantee each other. Like if you're three in a group, I know that when you go, I'm going to be responsible for your mistakes. So these women act as security for each other, and so they make sure that they look to each other. They're like, okay, how is your business doing? How is everything happening? So that if there's something that is fishy going to happen to the next person, they'll definitely come and report to the organization even before you think something wrong is going to happen, because this person is scared that when this person does anything wrong, I'm going to be held responsible. So they kind of give us that kind of protective information. Secondly, these women actually help each other, because since they're in this kind of whatever, sometimes some of them fail to give money at the time when they're supposed to give, but since they're in a group, they actually feel so free to help each other. For example, if I'm not able to do my recovery this month, the two will actually do for me and then I'll pay them later. And that is how it works, very friendly. And secondly, why we actually make these people give back the money monthly, we do this because we want to see that the money is still there and it's still operating. Because when we don't do that and we just let them go with the money, they just use it and we say, okay, bring the interest and do that, we will not be sure that the money is still there. So we make sure that the money is supposed to be brought monthly so that we are able to know that, okay, this money is really still there. And it's one way we actually eliminate the people that we think are going to go with our money somewhere or anywhere. Meaning, if we get any wrong information about you, we just, on the day of recovery, we'll get your money and we'll tell you, okay, just hold on a bit. We'll sort out something and then we'll call you back to the office to come get money. So when we find out that the information that was given about you is not actually right, we will give you the money back. But if we find that the information was somehow right, we won't give you money because it's not safe for us to lose money. So we just won't give it to you. That is briefly about the Gipomo model. We actually have other products that we do. It's also connected to the microlending. We found out that we have women or even girls who are supposed to be supported, yet their parents are not actually able to do business. So what we do for these people, we find out these parents and see what they are best at. And we actually came to know that those people at that point or in those different communities are actually best at farming, most of them. So we actually bring these women together just like we group the women in business. We just bring them together, then we go and see the different fields or gardens. We invest in the farming activities, get market for the products, sell it, and then withdraw our money plus the interest charged on it. So far as I can say, we've never lost money in that particular project because the fact that we have control over the harvest makes us at the right bit of it. So we again have another product called the Girls on Skills. With the Girls on Skills, we actually pick dropouts, girl child dropout. We pick them out from vocational, we pick them, take them to vocational training school. Remember, I'm one person who went through that. And I believe that a person who is taken to a vocational school can actually do something better after that. So we take these girls to vocational training schools. Actually, we take them to these vocational training schools. They get some skills. And then the parents, we pay the full tuition. The parents get to pay us back by installment after some time, depending on the agreement between us and the parents. So I'll wind up by saying this. Gipomo is not just a micro lending organization that provides finance and maybe supports girl child education, but it is a micro lending institution that gets the local community to another level. Like what we do gets a person or a minor to a level when they can actually go and access funds from the bigger finance institutions. For example, when we set for you a baseline of a business, we've already given you the chance to show somewhere where you're working to the bank. Secondly, the money that we give you, you can actually earn something from it that can make you buy something that you can call a collateral and present to the bank. Then you can even have trust from people who can actually guarantee you, since they actually know that there's something you're doing that is productive. Thank you very much. That's briefly what I can tell you about it.